Good morning, Big Ten fans. Welcome back to another edition of the Big Ten Morning Minutes. I'm your host, Michael Chen. Today is Wednesday, January 30th, 2019. It is absolutely brutally cold, so stay warm, everybody. Maryland had a good day yesterday, and they're staying warm. They're staying hot on the trail as Ohio State's going to lose a transfer, Keandre Jones. He's going to go to Maryland, where he originally committed. It is his home state as well. There's unsure of whether or not Jones will be eligible immediately. He could potentially graduate from Ohio State, but it is unknown at the current moment whether he will or not, whether he might have to take a season to turn over to become eligible for Maryland. But they also are getting a wide receiver as well, as former Virginia Tech wide receiver Sean Savoy. He actually has a much better chance at getting an immediate transfer waiver. He'll be joining Mike Locksley and his staff as well. And Locksley not only got a couple players to commit, although transfers, he got a coach and a former Maryland player, as Delbert Cowsett has agreed to become his defensive line coach. So although it's a cold day for everybody else, it was a hot day for Maryland. Iowa takes another walk-on as well, and this time it's a tight end, as Jackson Frericks decided to become a Hawkeye and join Kirk Ferentz. A very good pickup here, although he wasn't highly recruited. The way that Kirk Ferentz develops his tight ends, you could see Frericks at some point in time being a contributor down the line. Maybe not immediately, but at some point in time, because they do a really good job of developing their tight ends. As you can see, you got Noah Fant and TJ Hawkinson potentially both being first-round picks, and we'll actually get to that shortly as well. Northwestern got a much-needed commitment from a running back in Evan Hull. Their depth chart was very, very thin this year. Obviously, losing Jeremy Larkin was pretty big due to spinal stenosis, obviously not being able to continue his football career, and then they had to use true freshman Isaiah Bowser, which it looked like they wanted to redshirt him initially, but with the injury to Larkin, they were forced to play Bowser, and Bowser played admirably, but again, he kind of wore down towards the end of the season, and Northwestern really needed some more depth there, and Hull will help in that area. As Northwestern adds depth, Purdue is losing depth, as defensive lineman Alan Daniels has entered the transfer portal. He will no longer be at West Lafayette. And Jeff Brom will, I'm not sure he's really worried about this transfer, as Daniels didn't play much the last few seasons, but losing depth is always a concern and an issue as well. A couple of mock drafts came out yesterday as well, and Todd McShay from ESPN put out his top 32 prospects, so we'll go over where the Big Ten players landed in those. 24/7 released their 2.0 mock. Nick Bosa went overall. Ohio State's defensive lineman went overall number 1 to Arizona. Then quarterback from the Buckeyes as well, Dwayne Haskins, went 6 to the Giants. Noah Fant, the tight end from Iowa, going 11 to Cincinnati. Rashawn Gary, defensive lineman from Michigan, going 13th to Maryland. And then his teammate Devin Bush going 20th to Pittsburgh. Solid showing there, although only 3 schools represented. That is a little bit of a concern for me. But again, it wasn't a big year for NFL prospects in the Big Ten. Like I said, Todd McShay put out his top 32 prospects. Nick Bosa checked in at number 1, Gary at 6, Haskins at 10, Hawkinson at 16, and Devin Bush at 18, and then Noah Fant at 28. So again, you see why Frericks decided to go to Iowa. He's got 2 tight ends in the top 28 players. So that's not a bad reason for Frericks to go on to Iowa City. And then CBS Sports released their mock draft as well yesterday. Surprisingly, Nick Bosa didn't go number 1 overall to Arizona. He went number 2 to San Francisco. Gary went 4 to Oakland. Haskins 6 to the Giants. Devin Bush checked in at 24 to Oakland. And Hawkinson made it to the first round in this one, going 30th to the Green Bay Packers. That's going to do it for this morning's edition of the Big Ten Morning Minutes. I hope you stay warm today. It is a bone-chilling one, already in the negatives with negative wind chills, negative 40s and 50s in the Midwest. So make sure you stay warm, Big Ten fans. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.